Good morning, everyone. It is story time. All right, so I have a story. I have a buddy. You can't see him because, well, he's buried under the blanket. There he is. That's my dog, Stewie. There's a good boy. So he's going to be joining us, but he likes to be under blankets. That's his thing. So, see, there, he's fine. All right. So I thought it would be fun, to read you a story that was my absolute favorite story growing up. To the point where sides are all taped up, everything. My mom said all the time I had to read this. All the time. I received it for my first birthday. Even wrote my name in it. I know everything's probably backwards, but all right. So the story is called The Big Brown Bear. It is written by Georges Duplay. Pictures by Gustave Tengren. All right. So, The Big Brown Bear. Oh, my dear. Once there was a big brown bear who lived with his wife inside a cave. Please, dear, she said to him one day, run down to the brook and catch some fish for dinner. But don't go near the old beehive in the old dead tree. Remember what they did to you last time. And the bear's wife lit the fire and took down her frying pan. Meanwhile, the big brown bear walked slowly down the path toward the brook. Of course, he had no intention of even looking at the hive. But before he knew it, there he was heading straight for the old dead tree. He sniffed the good smell of honey, and it made him walk faster. The faster he walked, the better it smelled. As soon as he reached the tree, he pushed his paw into the hive and grabbed a piece of honeycomb. Inside, the busy bees were making wax and honey. But the minute they saw that big paw wrecking their home and stealing their precious honey, they rushed out, darting in all directions and droning like a million airplanes. The bear yanked out his paw. Then he let out a big roar, and he ran away so fast that he left the bees far behind him. But alas, he caught his foot on the root of a tree and tumbled over and rolled down the hill into a thorn bush. Swarming after him in a big cloud, the bees were ready to zoom down on his head, so the poor bear had to act fast. Pulling and kicking and tugging, he tore himself loose at last, leaving a great deal of his fur in the bush. He ran toward the brook, jumped into the water, and hid there with only his nose showing. The water was very chilly, but he didn't dare move, even when a water snake came and tickled his foot. The bees circled around him and around him, looking for him everywhere. Suddenly they spotted him under the water like a big brown rock, and they swooped down and landed smack on his nose. Ouch, he yelled. Ouch, ouch. Quickly, the big brown bear scrambled out of the water and crawled into a deep hole under the bank. He sat in the dark, all wet and shivering, with his nose getting bigger and bigger. long time, very cautiously, he took a peep outside. He didn't see any bees. He didn't hear any bees. And of course, he couldn't smell any bees because his nose was too sore and swollen. So he crawled out it an inch at a time and found himself in the sunshine again. And he was supposed to catch some fish for dinner. So he knelt on a rock and looked into the water and saw a big trout. She kept very still, but the bear saw her and caught her with one flip of his paw. It made him feel much better. The trout looked even bigger out of water, and the bear was so pleased he couldn't wait to show his wife. But halfway home, as he was going past the old dead tree, he heard the bees, who were still fighting mad. They were buzzing around the hive. The brown bear crouched down and crept through the tall grass, trying to make himself invisible. When he was far from the tree, he straightened up and raced back to his cave, looking over his shoulder from time to time. He was so happy to be back home that he gave his wife a great big bear hug and kissed her on both ears. His wife was quite surprised by such a greeting and guessed right away he had done something wrong. I wonder how she reacted. She told him not to go there. And as soon as she saw his nose, she knew what he had done. "Oh, dear," she cried, "why did you go near those bees?" I think I'm going to stop there on a cliffhanger. I want you to write the ending. Few sentences, wrap it up, okay? His wife found out. He went through the tree, to the honey. She saw his big swollen nose. "Oh dear," she cried, "why did you go near those bees?" So summarize an ending. What happened? What did she do? What did he do? The book has about 1, 2, 3, 4 sentences left. Wraps it up really quickly. So, how would you end it? Send me or email me your ending, and tomorrow I'll read all of the endings that I get, and then we'll read the real ending. All right. Have an awesome day.